Insidious, The Red Door. Uh, this is on Netflix. It has audio description. It stars Ty Simpkins and is directed by Patrick Wilson. It also has Patrick Wilson in it, but it's way more fun to just say it stars Ty Simpkins because it really does revolve around his character. But yes, Patrick Wilson and Rose Byrne are back. Don't worry, you'll see them, and along with some other Insidious regulars. And Hayam Abbas is in this. So it's funny because I was trying to figure out who the girl was that hangs out with Ty Simpkins for most of the movie, and I was like, oh, Hayam Abbas was the professor. Damn. All right. I've loved her ever since The Visitor. Of course, she's also in Succession, but yeah. So I watched this, and my familiarity with the Insidious universe is basically non-existent. Before watching this film, since it came out, and I wanted to review a film in 2023, I was totally down for watching the original Insidious and maybe the sequels. They're all available, at least on a streaming service right now. None of them have audio description currently offered. I don't think it's that Insidious doesn't have audio description or none of the sequels have audio description. It's just sheer laziness, and this is exactly sort of what I see as a growing trend, which is why I decided to say fuck it. It's a franchise I'm not really interested in, so let's review it. Let's see what it's like. Since studios continue to just assume that blind people will just jump into film sequels and just watch them without any prior context or anything, let's see. Because I did watch the first film without audio description, and then I jumped to 5. I didn't watch 2, 3, or 4. And you know what? I don't think I need to. So, I don't know what that says about the franchise. But I didn't really like The Red Door. So the film starts off with Patrick Wilson and Ty Simpkins are going through this sort of like they want to forget. They want certain memories erased from their minds, and locked away, which is problematic because that's sort of what becomes the plot of the film, is that they're remembering things, but they don't know why they're remembering them or where these images are coming from, but they locked away the experiences, I guess, of the first 4 films into this film. And there's a dead grandma or something at the beginning of this, but it's not like she's killed on screen. It's just like the grandma of the franchise died, and they go to her funeral. And Ty Simpkins is headed off to college. He's from coma to college. That's where the franchise takes Ty. And he's pursuing art. He's a solid artist, and he's drawing things that he doesn't really know why he draws them, because he can't remember his time in the what the fuck is that world called? The Found, the Further. The Further. That's what it's called. So he doesn't remember being there, but a lot of his drawings reflect the fact that he's there. So, it's about sort of like unrepressing memories is what this film is about. It's really slow. It has a couple of jump scares. That's about it. All I can say. It was not a fun watch. I was not like, oh, this is impressive, or oh, I want to watch more Insidious movies. I was like, I don't know. So if a studio was asking me, does this work, I would say, based on this, I don't want to watch any more Insidious films. Based on the way you presented the Insidious franchise to me, I'm not really interested in it anymore. So, kind of ruined that for me. So there you go. And I guess with other franchises that they continue to offer audio description only on the most recent entries, you run the risk of doing that as well. For example, I have not seen Saw offered on a streaming service right now where it is like it's on streaming services. I haven't seen it offered anywhere with audio description. And of course, there are, you know, a bunch of sequels between Saw and Saw X. And if I wanted to watch all of them to try to get ready for Saw X, I would not really be able to. Now, fortunately, I've seen the first two. I haven't seen anything after that, so I would be able to watch, maybe start with 3 if 1 and 2 didn't have audio description, but I'd still like to review the first 2 with audio description, just for my blind audience to be able to talk about the audio description. So, but this is something that I don't think studios and distributors and streaming services really care. So this is why I'm here talking about it, is because this is way too common. In my Friday the 13th review, I asked the question of why is it that Max thinks it's okay to offer 2, 3, 7, and the remake, but not the rest of the franchise? And who is going from 2 to 3 to 7 anyway? Why is 7 audio described? Like, what is it about 7 that makes you go, you know what, I'm not going to watch 4, 5, 6, I'm going to jump to 7? Like, it just doesn't make any... It's so random. It's just like, it's a random selection of bullshit. Universal has the Fast and Furious franchise, but good luck finding anything, before like Furious 8, maybe Furious 7 with audio description. It just doesn't, it's not out there. It just doesn't seem to exist. So, Universal was hosting Jurassic Park on Peacock without audio description. Why? You'll put audio description on Dominion, but the thing that basically built and kept you alive in the 90s isn't worth your time to put accessibility on it. So that's why I decided to do this. So Insidious ended up becoming sort of a tool while I was sick to just sort of figure out, does this actually work? The system that the studios keep wanting us to abide by, where we just watch whatever the most recent sequel is because they're too lazy to go back and do the right thing. Too apathetic, I should say, also. No, not really. This didn't really jump at me. I don't think it's the worst thing I've ever seen. I was incredibly bored by it. I understood the concept from at least having listened to the first film and understanding the structure of the story. If I had gone into 5 totally cold, I think I would have been even more bored. But luckily I did not. So I think Ty Simpkins has not been given enough opportunity outside of his franchise to act, and he doesn't make for a great lead. I like him as a child actor, but dynamically he doesn't have much, and Patrick Wilson doesn't really push him here. Wilson doesn't really necessarily bring anything interesting to the table as a director, certainly nothing that James Wan does. Although he also doesn't rely on sound and the use of silence versus loud noises for jump scares in the way quite like James Wan did in the first Insidious film. So, might you get some jump scares? Sure, if you're a sighted audience too, and you get to really see. There's something about having some of these faces described to you that's a little bit different than actually being able to see them. So, I was more bored than anything else, is really all I can say. And possibly I might have had a different reaction if 1 through 4 all had audio description and I was fully committed to the franchise. I don't know. But all I know is this didn't work the way it was presented to me, and that's all I could review it in, is the way it was presented to me. So, I think the audio description for this film is fine. I think the timing of the audio of the jump scares was solid. There wasn't anything that I felt was under-described. I felt like it tried to describe whatever the ghoulish thing was that was trying to boo you. I thought it tried. So, but just the film just doesn't do much. I think the more interesting thing in the audio description is really to just describe the art, because his drawings are so important and so integral to the plot of the film and to his unlocking his memory, and are so cool that that's probably more interesting than anything else. But yeah, not much happens here. So I don't know why we need a fifth Insidious movie, but we have one. So with all that said, I wouldn't really recommend this. I don't really know in context of the rest of the franchise where this thing stands, but I'm going to give Insidious, The Red Door, a D+. I don't think it's the worst thing I've seen this year, but there's nothing really about it that just makes me go, ooh, you should check this out. Please watch this. This is so good. It's got good cast members in it. But it's kind of where it ends. So anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. And I have a website, macmoviiguy.com. You can go to the audio description project, adp.acb.org. It'll let you know what does have audio description and where you can watch it. And you can go to X, Threads, or Instagram and follow me at macmovieguy. You can go to the ADNA, the ADNA.org. It'll let you know who's narrating your favorite films and television series. And that's it. I will watch something else and see you guys on the other side of the Red Door.